he just goes back on the mound and goes to work. It's fun to watch. So, uh, really glad to see our two younger pitchers come in and finish that up. And Cooper there in the ninth, threw 7 pitches and they were all strikes and got 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 us off the field. So that was really good. But some clutch hitting. We took advantage of a couple of mistakes, a couple tough in between hop errors that you know, we scored those innings, and that's a sign of a good offense. If you get 4 outs an inning, you score, and we did that. But again, really it was all the pitching was the key tonight, and then just 3 or 4 really good swings that you know gave us a good lead. So, like I told the guys, it was a good win, but you gotta enjoy it for a little while. You got to move on. We got 29 more to go.
Dave, y'all haven't hit as many home runs this year, but you get 4 of them tonight. Was this something hey, maybe you saw coming?
Well, I think we know it's in there. It's just it hadn't happened yet, whether it's guys aren't going yet or, every now and then it's wind knocks a ball down or whatever the case may be. But we feel like that we can hit for some power. And we've got a few other guys that obviously didn't hit them tonight that they can leave the yard as well. So it's nice to be able to have that to be a threat, really 1 through 9 to hit the ball out of the park, or at least over somebody's head. And, it was obviously it was a big part of the game tonight for us.
Two of those were hit by Nolan Susie, your freshman. Just you gave him the start at DH. Just what have you seen from him? What did you make of his performance tonight?
Well, I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, you're talking about a true freshman, first SEC at bat. It's a home run, gives us 2-0 lead there in the second, with one of the best pitchers around on the mound. So it was a big swing for us. And then that was pretty impressive because that was breaking ball kind of down. He went down and got it and hooked it out of the park and hit it a long way. So he's a really good athlete, strong, as you can see, and brings a lot to the batter's box because he's got a pretty good eye. He can run, and obviously he's got some power. So we're just good for.
How much do you think that meant to him?
Well, yeah, I mean it was a big swing for us, and he did a great job in that at bat. I think he took maybe a two. Well, he swung through a changeup earlier in the bat. He got to 2-2 count, threw another changeup, and he took it for a ball. So he said he's coming fastball there, and he did, and he hit it a long way. All of a sudden we're from 2 to 5. That's a big lead with our pitching staff, and yeah, I mean, it probably meant a lot to him, but I think more than anything is just I thought from my perspective, I saw what he did. He laid off a tough pitch, and he knew what he was getting, and then he hit it. And I'm not gonna say he put the game away, but it gave us a lot of breathing room there where we could relax a little bit.
It was like last year, 5 innings was kind of the most. There was like a wall for Hagan. He couldn't quite get over and get to that 6th inning. How goes it to see him finish the outing strong the way he did and get up? I'm assuming 100 was about the limit for him.
Yeah, it was great. 100 was going to be his last hitter. And I think it was what 2-2 full count, whatever it was. It came with I think a slide or something struck him out. Um, you know, if it was later in the season, Hagan wasn't done. I mean, he could have got another 20 pitches. He was fine. But, we're just doing the right thing. But yeah, I mean, last year it's just development. It's like I said earlier. I mean, he's a pitcher. He doesn't just throw; he pitches, and he has great stuff. So, really excited to see his development over the last 12 months. It's been pretty much what we thought would happen.
Obviously, he doesn't have to face your pitching a lot, but Nolan Souza struggled at times in the offseason against, his own pitching. And then how much do you think he's evolved over these last few months of just kind of figuring out how to hit arms at this level? And it seems like it's working out pretty well for him, I'd say.
he came back in January and it just seemed a little bit different to me. You know, he's still a freshman. He still asks a lot of questions and such really polite kid. Love him. And but you could just tell there was a little more confidence in there, and his batting practice was good, driving the ball the other way. The ball was just jumping off his bat. And then we put him in the game, you know, and he just kind of, as a coach, you just kind of go, wow, this guy might be a gamer. He's not scared. And it's not by going up there and hitting all the time. It's by taking pitches that are borderline balls. And you're kind of going, wow, sometimes that takes 2 and 3 years to figure that out. And if you can do that at a young age, you know, where you're not swinging at pitchers' pitches, man, you can do some damage. And that's what he's done.
I know you can't expect, 8-0 wins every Friday night, but how much of a weapon is it now with, you didn't have to throw Gackle or McIntyre and those guys that have been some of the more reliable bullpen arms are still waiting in the wings, and you got some experience for guys that haven't had too many innings this year.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good on paper, but they got to go out and do it. Because those guys have come out of the pen and, like you said, in the fifth, fourth, fifth, and held leads or giving us a chance to build a lead, and they're still available. And we had Christian and Cooper and some other guys throw on Wednesday live to our hitters, and they look good because it was it gets tough trying to figure out who to put on the roster because you can only put so many on, and those guys got on obviously, and so they threw well Wednesday and they threw well tonight, and we still got some of our guys that have thrown maybe more of the innings so far this year, but you never have enough. And, these guys they showed us tonight, we can put them out there again. It doesn't matter what the score is. It's still Friday night in the SEC, and you got to go get people out, and they did.
Only 1 for 4, but Hudson White kind of squared up a couple balls. Do you think, he's making some progress here as SEC plays getting here?
Yeah. He got one hit. He also lined deep to the left. Balls hit on the nose, and it was just good to see. And it just makes our lineup deeper. You get down into the 7, 8, 9. You're still feeling good over there, thinking this guy can hit a double. This guy can hit a home run. This guy can get on base, steal a base, or whatever. It's what you look for. It puts a lot of pressure on the other team's pitching staff.
Just because you go back so far with him, was it kind of interesting to see Tim Jameson in the opposing dugout again tonight?
Yeah. Tim and I got to coach together in summer of 2011 with Team USA. It's where I really, kind of got to know him as a person and off the field. He's a good, great guy. And, I coached against him when I was at Nebraska for 5 years. And so, we've known each other for a long time, and just a really, really good guy.
I noticed in Carrick Jackson's bio that he played at Nebraska the year before you got there. Was there any overlap?
Not really. Yeah, but I knew him and talked with him a little bit. But yeah, you've been doing your homework, haven't you? That's good. But I've known Carrick for a long time, and he's one of Coach Hobbs' best friends. I mean, they hang out. So I'll just leave it at that.
And then I want to ask you about Lovich. He had so many people that have come in here for this game because his brother's over there. To be able to have that kind of swing, with all those eyes watching it, I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, kind of saying it again, I was just really impressed with the at bat because, the change ups that he swung through and then took, and then he said he's going to throw me a fastball 3-2. He just missed with a change up or whatever it was, and he didn't miss it. And it's one thing to know, kind of have a really good feeling about what's coming, but then you got to square it up, and he did. A ball to the gap or single would have been fine, but he hit it a long way. I'm sure that meant a lot to him, and I'm sure his parents have mixed emotions. He got a son on one team and one on the other, but I'm sure they're incredibly proud of that. And I mean, he's been swinging the bat well. That's why he's in the lineup and driven in some runs. And he had to wait his time, and he did. When he got in, he took advantage of it.
Yeah, another question about Lovich. He was another guy that maybe didn't have the best fall or preseason, but he's producing in the season. Was it just a matter of getting comfortable here? Like, what do you think has been the key for him?
Getting comfortable, kind of getting strong. I don't know, just sometimes it takes a little bit of time, he's a good player, so. He's a good player. That's why we wanted him to come to school here and didn't get off to a great start, but he's arrived. So that's good.
No, Matt actually snagged my question about Carrot because I looked that up too. Matt Jones.
We'll give you credit for that too. Then.
Coach?
Okay. All right.